Ladies and gentlemen, joining us on stage is the mother who moved us to tears in Tare Zameen Par, the dynamic actress who morphs into any role you give her, and an author, activist who's doing her bit to demystify puberty for young girls. Please welcome Tisca Chopra. Welcome, Tisca. You look stunning.
Thank you. Very, very kind. And what a warm and wonderful audience. Thank you so much, everyone.
All right, with that, if there is anything that I've learned about this audience, apart from curious and impatient, is also one thing, that they do not believe in cliches because we want something new all the time. So I'm going to resist hard to move away from the cliche dhak dhak. So ladies and gentlemen, please hold on to your hearts because it might skip a beat. Presenting Madhuri Dixit. Let those applauses coming in. Ladies and gentlemen, here's presenting the living legend. Welcome to the stage. Ladies, the stage is all yours.
Good evening, everyone. All right, then, that is not the mood that we are looking for. Good evening, everyone. Woo! That's it! That's what we like. That's what we like, and that's what we want, and that's what this afternoon is going to be like. Welcome, ma'am. Thank you so much. This is for me. This one's not for you guys. This one's purely for me. Fan since forever. But let me tell you this really interesting incident. I was traveling somewhere in an airline, 1999, and I went and sat, and there was this gentleman sitting next to me, and he was getting very impatient. And he wanted to talk, so I settled myself in. Finally I said, hi. So he said, hello. And I could sense that he wants to ask me something. So I said, yes. He's saying, क्या माधुरी दीक्षित की शादी हो रही है? And I was like, जी मैं उन्हें नहीं जानती, मुझे नहीं मालूम. So he said, आपको तो पता ही होगा, बताओ ना, प्लीज बता दो. उनकी तो शादी हो रही है, आपको तो पता ही होगा. I said, मुझे नहीं मालूम, seriously मुझे नहीं मालूम उनकी शादी हो रही है या नहीं हो रही, because rumors were around and nobody knew really. I tell you, that man didn't eat his food, he didn't drink water. It was a 3-hour flight. गुप्पा बन के वो मुंह उधर करके बैठा रहा पूरी फ्लाइट में, because I didn't tell him कि माधुरी दीक्षित की शादी हो रही है कि नहीं, क्योंकि मुझे नहीं पता था. पता है, लोगों की बड़ी weird opinions होती हैं एक्टर्स के बारे में. सबको लगता है कि उनके घर की जो सीढ़ियाँ हैं वो ऐसे डबल वाला जो स्टेयरकेस है वैसा उनके ड्राइंग रूम के अंदर आता है. लोगों को लगता है उनके घर में गोल्डन कलर के कमोड्स हैं, gold के कमोड्स हैं. People think all these funny things about actors. You know how people are, आपके घर में गोल्डन कलर का कमोड है?
Well, before I discuss about the commode in my house, a very good evening to all of you. Thank you to Goafest for inviting me. It's indeed an honor and really an honor and privilege to meet all of you. And to answer your question now, I think ऐसा तो होता ही नहीं किसी के घर में, बहुत कम लोगों के घर में ऐसा होता होगा. लेकिन मुझे पता है ऐसे लोग इस दुनिया में जिनके पास हैं ऐसे कमोड, लेकिन fortunately I'm not one of them.
You have maintained an extremely private face to a very public person. How have you managed to do that with such elan?
Um, I don't know, maybe because I am a very private person. I'm a people's person, and yet I have, boundaries as to how much of my life I put out there and how much I don't. It's just the way I am. I mean, there has been no particular uh, particular direction that I've always thought about, ki, oh, this is what I should do with my life, this is what I'll put out, it's not that. It just happens very organically with me. And I think people are also generally very cognizance, they take cognizance of that, and they don't pry too much, I guess.
Difficult task, but you've managed to do it very well. And going back to a while ago, had you ever imagined that you will be such a bright star shooting across the skies, illuminating the lives of hundreds and thousands and lakhs of fans? Had you ever thought that?
You know, I was seeing an interview with Elon Musk, and somebody asked him that. They said, did you ever imagine that you'd be the richest guy alive and all this that you achieved? And he said, no, even I was surprised. So it's the same thing, I didn't know that I'm going to be a big star or whatever. All I knew that was I love my work, I love what I do, and I think I was very fortunate that I chose a profession which was something that I love to do. Something, I love to dance, I love to act, I love to sing, I love to do all these things. And I chose a profession which needs all that. And every day of my life, I used to wake up with excitement and say, hey, today I'm going to be on the sets, today I'm going to be in front of the camera, I'm playing this character, I'll be doing this, or I'll be dancing, or whatever. So I think for me, I never worked in my life. For me, it's something that I've always been passionate about, and I worked with the same enthusiasm, got up with the same enthusiasm, and I was on the sets, and I was doing what I love doing most.
That's the dream. That's the dream. They say if you follow your passion, you never work a day in your life. And
yes, absolutely.
so growing up, or even later, as various phases of one's life and career, what inspired you? What or who inspired you? And this is like many layers of a question. So who as an actor inspired you? Who as a dancer inspired you? Who as a performer inspired you? Who as an artist, painter? What are your inspirations?
Well, I used to love to watch black and white films. And, everyone from Madhubala to Nargis ji to Padmini to Nutan ji, so many beautiful stars we had who used to do such good work. And I used to love to watch those films, and those were kind of my inspirations because I loved the work that they did. And after that, I think every day is, I get inspired with even little things, like a little child can inspire me because they did something that was awesome. Like I'm a judge on Dance Diwane, which is a dance show. And there are little kids who come on the show and they are outstanding. I mean, that can inspire me. Little things in life, like somebody's smile can inspire me. So inspiration is everywhere. It's up to you how you see it, what you see in others that is an inspiration. Like my mom is a very big inspiration for me. She had 4 kids. And despite that, even after having kids, we were in school when she actually did her BA in Hindustani vocal, classical, and then she did her MA, in music. And, my dad was from the generation where he said, you take care of the kids, bus, then you can do whatever you want. That's your department. I cannot take care of them. And so I think she's a big inspiration. Even throughout my career, she always stood by me, always like a powerhouse. If I was feeling bad, somebody said, when I started in this industry, they said, "ये तो बहुत पतली है, ये कैसे heroine बन सकती है? ये तो बहुत दुबली है." How everybody has an opinion, and I used to feel, oh my God, is that true? And my mom used to say, "Don't worry. एक film hit हो जाने दो, then that patli girl will become, oh my God, she's so patli. You know, everything changes. So don't worry about that. Just keep doing good work, and everything else will follow. So she has been a very big inspiration, and someone who kept me grounded, someone who helped me to keep my head on my shoulders, even if there were like big successes or failures or whatever. She was always by me, and she always gave me the strength. So she is also my biggest inspiration.
That's fabulous. What is your superpower? We know the smile, we know the dancing, we know the professionalism. What do you think is your superpower?
Well, I think because despite all that, like people call me a star or whatever, I think I'm a people's person. I don't take my star status so seriously. It's like, you know, I say, okay, I'm good at what I do and everything else follows. But apart from that, I'm just a human being like everybody else. Everybody wears their pants one leg at a time. That's the only way to wear it, right? So, so I think, you know, for me, I'm in a profession which kind of puts you in a very revered space, but for me, I'm just doing my job, you know, and that's how I was brought up, and that's how I was taught by my dad or my mom, that whatever you do it to the best of your abilities. Whatever you take up in life, do it sincerely. कभी अपने प्रोफेशन से insincerity नहीं करना, धोखा नहीं करना. जब भी स्क्रीन के सामने या कैमरा के सामने I do a performance or I'm doing a shot, I know this is the best of my ability and this is the best I could possibly do. I cannot do better than this. So every time, that's for me. And for me, it's just hard work. I mean, that's very important. Everybody in this room has worked hard to be where they are. And kudos to all of you, because I know there are a lot of winners here as well, and others who have participated. So a big, big hand to all of you. Yeah, I mean, films, we take 2 hours. Now I did a series which we said our story in 8 hours. But for, I think, advertising, you have to say your stories in just seconds, milliseconds, sometimes 3 seconds. It's like when I'm working for an ad and they say, ma'am, ye lines hai. And then they say, thoda fast bol sakte hain aap, kyunki ye 5 seconds hai. So you have to say it really fast. And so I understand. So kudos to all of you. But, you know, that's how I am. I don't really think that it's something gigantic that I have done, or I think I just, like I said, I work hard and as hard as anybody else. And that's why I respect everyone who comes in contact with me. I respect everybody, every person who's working, whatever his status might be, whatever his color, creed, caste, it doesn't matter. And I think that's why I think I am who I am, and I don't take myself too seriously.
Amazing, amazing things to learn. I watched Fame Game end to end, and I watch you doing reels on Instagram.
Yeah.
And I watch you kicking butt of 20-year-olds at their own game. How? Like, where does the energy come from? What is it that you have for breakfast? And what is it that you tell yourself? What is the secret of this resilience, this reinvention, this keeping up with absolutely the newest trends and trending reels and everything?
Well, I think because I love doing them. I love reels. I think, don't you all like reels? I mean, how many of you guys actually do reels? Yeah, look at that. I love it because it's a great, see, for me, acting is a form of expression, right? Whether it's acting, whether it's dancing, whether it's singing, whether it's making reels, I mean, that's also a form of expression, and I love doing that. How? How? Bhav, yes, the navrasas, the abhinay, you know, it's all about that. And I enjoy it, and that's why I do it. I never think, oh my God, I'm this or I'm that, how can I do reels? And I don't think of it that way. It's something that I enjoy doing, and it's something that I do for myself, not for anybody else. Just the joy of doing them, like little things, like we just do a little dance, and you know, it's cute, I think. So, also because, you know, I'm very curious about everything. I love to sing, so I did my first song during lockdown. And I had recorded the song before, and during lockdown we saw what the doctors were going through. And I thought the candle, Candle was the song which I had released during lockdown. I thought the song went very well with the atmosphere that was going on. Actually, it was written keeping in mind that in an actor's life, you might be going through any turmoil in your life, but you still have to be a beacon of light for everyone. You have to be an inspiration. People should be able to look up to you. So you have to smile. You have to do everything that's required out of you. So that's what the doctors were doing at that point, you know. They were the beacons of light for everyone. The nurses, they were sacrificing so much. And so we had to shoot the song in my house because it was lockdown time. And of course, my husband he's crazy. He does everything. He can do anything. So we went to the University of Google and YouTube and found out how to shoot. Though I am from this industry, but it's different when you're behind the camera. I knew where the placings and all will be, but I didn't know exactly how much light is required. So we found out all that, and we kind of shot the song right in my house, and we released that. My other song, we just dropped the teaser for it today, actually, at 1:30. In the afternoon today. It's called Tu Hai Mera, which is for all the fans, you know, what I feel about them, how they have supported me throughout my life, throughout my career. And so these are just expressions of what you feel and do, and sometimes you dance it, sometimes you act it, sometimes you sing it, sometimes you reel it, you know. So for me, these are different avenues of expression, and that's the way I look at it. And I enjoy doing all this, and so that's why I'm doing it. Long story short.
Wonderful. A bunch of questions. We have time for some 5 or 6 questions. So the first one is from Kripti Trivedi. Kripti, where are you? Kripti Trivedi. Okay, anyway, I'm going to go ahead with the question. One role that you've been curious about, but still not been able to do.
One role
that you've been curious about or excited about, but still have not been able to do?
Very hard to say. There's a role I have played right now. I can't talk much about it because it's going to be on one of the OTTs, which was very challenging. And I think I'll leave it at that. It's very challenging.
Well, we're excited in advance. Okay, here's one by Yatin Makkar, which is for both you and me, with both of you being an inspiration for fresh actors and actresses. Well, we're still fresh. I want to know how do you deal with rejections in the start of your careers?
How I dealt with rejections. I think, like I said, I used to get very broken. I used to feel very bad. But it's my mom who used to sit me down and put sense in my head, saying that this is one person's opinion. Do you know what is the population of India? In billions. So it doesn't matter what one person thinks of you. Think of all the other, billion minus one. That's what she used to say.
Wow.
And I mean, that gave me a lot of strength to go on. And I would say, yeah, okay, pick yourself up, dust yourself, start all over again, you know, that kind of thing. And I used to go like a soldier, like gung-ho.
How did I deal with rejection at the start of my career? Not very well. My parents weren't there with me in Bombay. I was alone, so there was a lot of heartbreak and a lot of fighting with myself and fighting with self-doubt and a lot of dark nights of the soul. But I think it made me all the stronger now. So yeah, I guess everyone goes through it. No, being an actor doesn't make you unique in that sense, except that the only thing that I feel is a little harsher for actors is that sometimes, like there's one director who turned around and said, your face is very big. And I could not think of any way in which I could make my face smaller. Like, there is no way of doing that. You can't reduce your skull. I mean, that's the size it is. And then for the...
I hear you. I don't know what all I drank. I mean, what all kind of shakes I had to drink just to put on weight. And it's like, isko thoda mota karo. It's the opposite. My mom, and they used to make a lot of stuff for me to drink, but nothing happened. I mean, it's like, whatever. I was the same weight. I mean, Tezab released, I was the same weight as I was when I started. So my mom is right. Nothing succeeds like success.
But then peculiarly the same director turned around about 3 years later and said, no, you're too small for this. And I was like, I think you're just too confused. You know, because I'm the same size. You're like, bade hai, chote hai, whatever. Okay, then there is the next question from Wendy Coutinho, who says, what are questions you ask? Okay, this is an advertising question. What are questions you ask brands when you decide to endorse them?
Who is this person?
Wendy Coutinho.
Put me in trouble. Yeah, it's usually prove it.
Smart question.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, we do our due diligence now that, you know, the laws are stricter and you have to know a lot of stuff. So you ask for all the stuff. If all the claims that they make, what proof do they have for that? And we run it through legal and everything. So we are being very, very careful now when we do ads. Yeah. And the claims that they make.
As the Dhak Dhak girl, asks Rahul Puri, as the Dhak Dhak girl of Bollywood and of the many things you've done in your life, which memory of your career makes your heart beat fastest?
Which memory of my career or my life? My career.
Career. You can tell us life also. You can tell us both.
I think my heart beats fast, of course, because the person in question is also a cardiothoracic surgeon. So, yeah. So the beats are much faster. And of course, every time there's going to be a release, your heart beats faster. That, you know, you don't know what's going to happen. Now the audience is going to see it. And, you know, I don't know how they're going to react. So there's little butterflies, little, you know, heartbeats kind of go faster, I think. And every time my kids smile at me, I mean, it just, whenever they say mom, it just makes my, it just melts my heart, basically.
And one last question. With everything that is there as the trajectory of one of the brightest stars that the Indian film industry has seen, what do we look forward to in your new digital avatars and all your other avatars? What all do we have to look forward to seeing you in?
Well, Amazon just declared their slate, and I'm doing a movie with them called Majama, which I said is a very challenging role, so that's the role I was talking about. And in the future, there are a lot of things planned, but nowadays there's so much secrecy, don't say this, don't say that, so right now I cannot, but yeah, there are a lot of things planned for this, this year, but do listen to my song, which will drop on my birthday on the 15th. It's called Tu Hai Mera, and I hope you enjoy it. It's just an ode to all my fans, basically.
Ladies and gentlemen, Madhuri Dixit.
Thank you. Thank you so much. You have been such a good crowd. Thank you.
Let's give that a
Thank
huge
you all.
round of applause.